at my dab. Look at my dab. Look at my dab. Look at my dab. Look at my dab.
Stop it. What's going on, guys? Jay Canada back again with another video. And yeah, the Super Bowl was like 3 days ago, 2 days ago, something like that. I'm a little late, but I still needed to talk to you guys about it today, give my thoughts on it. So as you saw in the intro, I was trying to dab, kind of like, don't judge me on that dab. But the dab was no more on Sunday. The Denver Broncos, from out of nowhere, at least in my opinion, came up with the big win. I mean, they got Cam, they got Greg Olsen, they got Jonathan Stewart, they got a strong offensive line, they got Kuechly, Norman, all these guys, offense, defense, they had it all. And what does Denver have? What did they have going into the game? They had defense. And there was basically one way that these Broncos could win this game. One way. It wasn't gonna be by outscoring Cam. It was gonna be by playing defense and hopefully getting some scores from their defense. Well, that's exactly what these guys did. They got one strip, Von Miller, Cam Newton drops back. He's ready. Von Miller just says, I'll take that. I'll take that, strips the ball, they walk it in. I can't remember who walked it in, but it was a touchdown from the defense. Later in the fourth quarter, guess who again? Cam Newton drops back. It's Von Miller up in his face, knocks the ball loose. Cam doesn't pick it up. TJ Ward, I think it was this time, picks it up and runs it to like the one. But for me, that's basically a defensive touchdown. So I'm watching this game thinking, what in the world? The Denver Broncos are winning the Super Bowl with no offense. I have never seen this before in my life. I mean, we get to the fourth quarter when the Broncos were up, I think 16-10 or whatever they were up at the time. And what are they doing? They're just trotting out on the field. Peyton Manning, Anderson, Demaryius Thomas, all these guys, and they are expecting to go 3-0. They were perfectly content for Peyton to sit back there. Omaha, doing all his thing and handing the ball off and getting stuffed. It was unbelievable. And boy, what a stud Von Miller is. And DeMarcus Ware, he's old, like I don't know his age, but he's been around forever, it seems like, losing all those years with the Cowboys. But he was a stud. Oh my goodness. TJ Ward, the only non-stud on the Broncos for me was Aqib Talib. What are you doing, Aqib? You almost cost your team with some stupid penalties. It's like he wasn't even in the game. His head wasn't in the game. But in the end, it didn't matter because the Broncos came out with what ended up being a 2-score victory in one of the most boring Super Bowls ever. I mean, I enjoyed exciting football, but boy, it was boring. But the biggest takeaway for me was the Carolina Panthers. It wasn't how good the Broncos played, it was how bad the Panthers played. And I'm gonna sound like a major Cam Newton hater here, a major hater of the dab. But this man really showed like no leadership, in my opinion. If you want to dislike this video because of my opinion, I don't think you should, but just hear me out. Now, I'm not gonna say anything about his post-game antics, because to me, I'm the same way. If I lose, I'm mad. Like 2 nights ago, I was actually playing a card game with my girlfriend and she beat me, and I was so grumpy, I was pulling Cam Newton, you know, I was sitting there like this. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. You cheated. I didn't lose. You cheated. Had to have been something. Had to have been something. So I can sympathize with the guy. I hate losing. So I'm not going to talk about that. But what I'm talking about is on the field. This man, drop back. I demonstrated earlier. Drop back. Got stripped by Von Miller. An absolute stud. But he just stared at the ball. I mean, the Super Bowl, it might have already been lost. I don't know. They had almost no hope. But it's sitting right there. And Cam decides not to dive on the ball? What? He could have, what? And no, I've never played in the NFL. I've never played that high a level of football. But come on, I think he could have done it. Unless he's injured, which he might be, I think he could have dove on that ball. And that play is getting a lot of publicity, a lot of bad publicity. But also, I noticed things I didn't like about Cam throughout the game. I mean, when things weren't going his way, he was on the sideline like this. I mean, this man had a towel on his head like he's playing a shepherd in a Christmas pageant. Get rid of this thing. And I just didn't see him going over motivating teammates, motivating his O-linemen, motivating his receivers. And don't get me wrong, they played terrible. Guys like Ted Ginn, Cautry, really struggling to hold on to the ball. And let's face it, Denver's defense is top notch. But for me and for other media members, I know Cam, we needed to see Cam, you know, leading his team. Even if it wasn't going anywhere, even if his team was awful, you got to go down there, sit next to your O-lineman, and try and encourage them. For me, that's what I didn't like about Cam Newton. I didn't like he didn't jump on the ball, but you know what? It was the whole game. I just didn't like what I saw from Cam. Now, there is no denying he was the MVP this year. He had a great year, so did the Panthers. But the attitude he showed me was that, you know, he's thinking he'll be back there next year or the year after or more games in the future, and he probably will be. But you gotta win one this year. I mean, this is this year. You should have taken advantage. But with that being said, maybe I'm just a salty Seahawks fan and Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, Super Bowl 50 was a good time. I live in Canada, so I don't even get to see Super Bowl commercials that are good. But hey, at least I enjoyed a pretty good game. Time will tell if Peyton Manning will retire. Let me know in the comments section if you think Peyton will retire. And also what you thought of the game. What are your opinions on Cam and the Panthers and Von Miller and the Broncos? Let me know. All-Star Game MVP pack should be coming out on Friday unless 2K screws us over one more time. So I'll definitely be tearing a bunch of those. Hopefully road to the playoffs tomorrow and some more good stuff this weekend. So that's all I got for this time, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at JCanada10 and have a great day, guys. Hold on.